Well, before I talk about books, I want to talk about the absence. Like, if you have been here for a while, you probably noticed that I stopped uploading. Like, not for days, not for weeks, but for months. And I won't dress it off with excuses. I disappeared, and I'm genuinely sorry about that. And let me tell you guys, this channel wasn't just content, it was a conversation about books, feelings, thoughts that don't usually find space elsewhere. And living without a word, that wasn't fair to you. The truth is, life doesn't collapse loudly, like, not always. Sometimes it's just slowly weighs you down. I mean, reading becomes silent, creativity pauses, and even the things you love start feeling distant. But books stayed. Even though I wasn't filming, I was still reading, underlining the lines, falling in love with the sentences, and finding myself again quietly. So today it's not just a video, it's me coming back honestly and pretending like nothing happened. And I wanted my comeback to begin with something gentle, something comforting, and something that reminds us why we started reading in the first place. So today I am sharing the three must read classic books. Like not that heavy and intimidating ones that people usually throws at beginners, but a starter pack. These are short books, emotionally rich, beginner friendly, and the kind that makes you say, "Oh, so this is why people love classics." So let's get started with it. See, first of all, I could have made it about 10 or even 20, but classics aren't just about quantity. So, when you are new to the classics, too many recommendations can feel very overwhelming. And so, instead of flooding you, I choose these three books which acts like doorways. So, these three books that I'm going to talk about. So, these books don't demand effort. They invite curiosity. They are short enough to finish without any pressure, but they are deep enough to stay with you long after. And if classic feels like boring, distant, not for you type, come on, start here. You will definitely love it. So, the first one is White Knights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. God, I can never pronounce his name correctly. And if I did correct, then come on, appreciate me. And if not, then I will try even more, okay? So the first one is this White Knights. So, White Knight is a book that you don't read, you recognize yourself in it. So, the story of White Knights begin with a lonely narrator, often called as Dreamer, but that's not his name. Dreamer wasn't his name. His name isn't mentioned in the book. And he lives in his head more than in the world. He walks the street alone and he observes life instead of participating in it. And then he meets someone, like not in a dramatic love at first sight way, but in a soft and almost accidental one. And what makes this book powerful isn't the romance itself, it's the emotional imbalance. The dreamer feels too much. He builds worlds inside his head. He imagines future, and then there's his lover, Nastenka. That's the name. And you know what? The name Nastinka was mentioned in the book for 138 times, while there's not a single mention of the narrator's name. Like, how painful was that? With someone who's invisible but loves so deeply. There's not a single mention. That hurts even more. Like, I was really sad about that. I cried too much. I felt as if God, that was such a heartbreaking point. While reading, I couldn't stop myself from crying. Feels so heartbreaking. Can you imagine that? So this book captures three things, I will say. One is one-sided love. Second is emotional vulnerability. Okay, damn. I can never pronounce this word correctly, but I did. Okay. Emotional vulnerability. And the third one is that the pain of being too much in a world that asks you to be less. So, you know what? Dostoevsky doesn't mock loneliness, but he understands it, like literally. And why beginners connect to his book? Well, it's short, then it's simple language, and you know what? No complex plot. Yet, emotionally, it is heavy. This book teaches you that sometimes love isn't about possession, sometimes it's about being grateful for the feeling itself. White Nights make you fall in love with classic because it's human and not intellectual. White Knight speaks to your heart, then the Prophet speaks to your soul. Here comes our next book, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And personally, it's one of my favorite. Like these three books that I mentioned in this video is my favorite, but this one literally, like, it confronts you, it talks to you. So this book is written as a series of poetic reflection. A prophet is about to leave a city, and before he goes, people ask him about life, love, marriage, work, pain, freedom, death, and many more. And you know what's the best part? He answers it not like a teacher, but like someone who has lived. And you know what? This book doesn't rush you. Like, you can read a chapter today and still carry it for days. And why it's perfect for beginners? Because gentle lyrical language, no storyline to follow, and each chapter stand alone. And you know, it feels like sitting with someone who's older and wiser, who doesn't judge you, who doesn't give you rules, but gives you perspective. So, the prophet teaches you love isn't about ownership, pain is part of growth, and solitude isn't loneliness. This book is for the moments when you feel lost but don't want loud advice. So, as I said, this is one of my favorite books, and you should definitely go for it, and you will not regret a single percent choosing this book. This is a great read, timeless and philosophical. So I have already gave two recommendations: White Knights and The Prophet. And then there comes the third one. Okay, so now comes the most unsettling ones. Can you see this? The prettiest cover, Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Unlike the other name of Fyodor Dostoevsky, I can pronounce his name very smoothly. Franz Kafka. So this book, Metamorphosis, begins with a man waking up as an insect. Like, sounds disturbing, right? Well, it is. But the message it leaves, you will be shocked. Well, that wasn't the shock. Like, waking up as an insect wasn't the shock. The real shock was how everyone else accepts it so easily. The character, Gregor Samsa, has been supporting his family financially, and the moment he can't work, the moment he becomes different, he becomes a burden. So, this book is about conditional love, how society values productivity over humanity, and what happens when you no longer fit expectations. Kafka doesn't explain the emotions directly, he lets situations speak. And why beginners should read it? Well, short and direct, no complex vocabulary, and the symbolism is clear. And the fun thing, you don't have to decode it academically. You just need to ask what happens when people stop being useful. And you know what? This book makes classics relevant and not outdated. You would definitely enjoy this one. Go for it. So these three that I have recommended today, the three books, you will absolutely love it. I can guarantee that. So these three were my must-read classics, not to impress but to connect. And if you are starting your journey with classics, let this be your first steps. And to those who stayed, who waited, or even who forgot, thank you for being here now. And I'm not promising any perfection or constant uploads, but I'm promising honesty and a thoughtful content and a space where books are felt, not forced. If you guys want the part 2 of it, like the longer classics, women writers, Indian classics, then let me know in the comment. Or if any books you want me to review, you can comment that. I will be happily doing that. You can even DM me in my Instagram. I will leave my ID here. Do follow that. I have been posting reviews constantly and I will be doing that as well. And till then, read slowly, feel deeply, and welcome again to both of us. And thank you for reading. Thank you for watching. Wow, what an ending blooper. Thank you for watching.